feel like a failure, man. I feel like a failure.
Do you want to slow it down a little bit?
No, I want to speed it up.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Ed Sheeran. He's a 4-time Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter who's sold more concert tickets and albums than just about any other musician over the last decade, or really any decade for that matter. And good news for Ed Sheeran fans is we have a new single, album, and tour on the way. Let's celebrate with a flight of extremely spicy chicken wings, shall we? Ed Sheeran, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I know that you have a passion for ketchup. How are you around the hot sauce?
I'm all right, actually. I'm all right, but I think in England, like, the spice it's just so different to America. Like, in America, I feel like you get, like, 2 chilies and breed them to make this, like, super chili that will fuck you up, whereas in England, it's kind of just, I guess, like normal chilies. We do have Carolina Reapers, and, I think, like, the curry situation over there can get quite intense. And my go-to curry is, like, one below the really intense one. So I hope I'm all right. Okay, so this is just regular buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
It's still got something though, hasn't it? It's not like totally mild. That's great.
So as we mentioned up top, you are, as you put it, coming out of hibernation with a forthcoming album, and I'm really curious how an artist decides to pick the first single. Like, when you're looking at an album and seeing that track list, what is your internal math when deciding which one to introduce to fans first, especially after a hiatus?
Yeah, I think for me, it's every time I've released a first single, the way that it works best is to do something to, like, ground that I've never covered before, because I feel like as a fan of musicians, like, anytime that anyone's, like, not reinvented themselves, but come out with something that you're like, oh my God, I didn't expect them to do that. I think that's usually the way I pick the first single. And it's kind of like a catch-22, because you put something out and your core fan base goes, he's changed and he's going in this new direction. And then suddenly the album comes out and they're like, oh, actually, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it happened, my second album, I did a song called Sing. And then the third album, I did a song called Shape of You. And both times, everyone was like, this is too different. And both times, both songs worked and led into the album quite well. So this time, I had a first single picked, kind of like lo-fi, depressing, sad. And I'd made this, like, really upbeat dance tune. And then Boris Johnson announced that England was opening up on the 21st of June. And my single was going to come out on the 25th of June. So I sort of switched them around, because I was like, what do I want to hear on the radio when the world opens up, or if clubs are going, do I want to hear, like, a really depressed lo-fi acoustic tune? Yeah. They're good. They're really tasty.
So there are a lot of stories about pop stars breaking through by uploading covers to YouTube, but your breakthrough on the platform is really unique, with their first viral hit being a performance on SBTV.
Yeah.
Thinking back, how did the UK hip-hop scene and grime artists, what impact or effect do you think it had on the trajectory of your career, especially early on?
Well, I think, I moved to London sort of like turning 17, and I joined the, like, acoustic singer-songwriter set. So, like, went to do the shows, and then I would meet other singer-songwriters, and then you just get part of this circuit. I was like 17, 18, most of them were like 25, 26, and much better than me. So I would do a show and just kind of be forgotten about. And I was doing the same shows with the same people at the same venues with the same songs, and just nothing was happening. A friend of mine who was a poet lived in Los Angeles, and she said, look, I can get you a gig in Los Angeles if you can sort the ticket. And I'd been selling CDs over a couple of months. The ticket was like 800 quid. I bought the ticket, I flew over to LA. The thing that I played was a poetry gig, and it was in Inglewood. It was called Fly Poet. I arrived there and I was British, the only white guy in the room with a guitar with, like, crazy hair. And I was like, fuck, I don't think today's gonna go well. I stood up on stage and I played the songs, and it was the best reaction I'd ever got from any show. I think because it was all poetry and rap, and suddenly, like, someone sits up and sings a song about, you know, a homeless girl in London, people kind of connected to it. So from there, when I got back to England, I was like, I'm not going to do any more acoustic nights. I'm going to do comedy nights. I'm going to do rap nights. I'm going to do jazz nights. And I basically did that circuit, met Jamal, who ran SBTV, and like within a year, it kicked off. So for me, the UK, I guess it's not an underground scene anymore because it is the forefront of culture. But at the time, the UK underground scene was the sort of catalyst for me having success, yeah. It's all right. So this is where Khaled tapped out.
Right.
All right.
You got it in you to keep going?
Dude, if I stopped now, I would never hear the end of it. Ever. I'm making it to the last one. There's a bit of an aftertaste to that one.
It does. It kind of builds in you.
If I go for water, is that like a failure?
No. You know, if you hit the water or the milk.
I'm only having this because I'm thirsty.
So there's a scene in your documentary Songwriter where you can see that you're visibly frustrated by changes that were made to your song Shape of You. And you say, I promise you it'll sound better this way, in a manner that made me really feel the self-will of your creative conviction. Is there another example of a song that you think was made better by doing what you wanted to do despite the feedback and wishes of those around you?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I've been wrong in a lot of cases and I've been right in a lot of cases, and I think the key to it is having people that you listen to and not being like, I know everything. So with Shape of You, didn't want to put that on my album. I thought it doesn't sonically fit. I've made this album, it's perfect in my mind. I don't want to put this on. And everyone would say, if you put this on, it would be the biggest hit of your career. And I was like, no, it's just, I kind of felt it was like cheating because I basically had done a paint by numbers pop tune. And I sort of felt like I was cheating with that. And it was the biggest hit of my career, and I love playing it live. I love seeing the reaction it has to people, and I hear it everywhere, so I was wrong there. But there's also like, and I know the people involved will deny this to the hilt, but there is no way that I would have given this song away if no one liked it, or if people liked it. But when I wrote Justin Bieber's Love Yourself, I remember playing that to people and them being like, and so I gave it away. And now it's like, why did you give it away? You know, you never played this to us. I had an email actually the other day from a song that I'd gone round this bloke's house and I'd played him this song 3 times and played it on acoustic guitar. And then I came to America, I played it to a couple of people, they emailed him, and then he emailed me he got the song, and he's like, what the fuck? This is the best song we have on the album. This is the thing. And I was like, dude, I literally played this to you 3 times a week ago. And you weren't feeling it then. It's very much like, they say how many music industry people does it take to change a light bulb? 1 and 99 to ask each other what they think of it. That's basically it. So is this one you sell in shops?
Yeah, we actually make this one.
That's really tasty.
We'll take that.
Everyone buy that.
Okay, Ed, we actually have a very special surprise for you on this wing. We reached out to a mutual friend who's brought us burning questions that he has for you, Ed Sheeran. Can you guess who it is?
I can see who it is. It's Benny Blanco.
That's right. It's 5-time BMI Songwriter of the Year, Benny Blanco, also the host of Eat Out America. He's got some questions for you, as
He's
only
gonna say
Benny
something
can
really
ask
fucked
them.
up. I know he's going to say something fucked up.
Well, let's see the first one.
What's your favorite song we've ever worked on together?
Why is he saying normal questions? I was expecting him to say something.
It starts
that's
spiraling.
sweet. I would say Castle on the Hill. Castle on the Hill for me was it was the first tune that I finished for Divide, and it was like the sort of like benchmark that all the other songs went around. And we wrote it here in New York. I think we worked on a Jessie Ware song, and I went in to do some like backing vocals or something on that, and we just did it on the side, and then it ended up being like the kind of thing that made the album happen.
Well, there you go. All right, it's starting to spiral. It gets more Benny as we work our way through.
Good.
Name one artist that you're so fucking jealous of. Like, you look at their stats all the time, you wish your shit was as good as theirs. You can't put out records without even thinking about them.
I wouldn't say I'm actually like jealous of anyone, because I feel like I love what I do and I couldn't do what other people do. But I think every artist, when they release, finds out whether Drake, Taylor, or Adele are releasing, and they go, what date are they going? And like, can we put out? I think every artist does that. But I wouldn't say I'm jealous of any of them. But all of them make me strive to work harder.
Well said. All right, one more for you. It's a big mystery.
All right, for everyone who doesn't know, me and Ed, real good friends. We went to a festival, stayed up all night, came back, got in a jacuzzi together.
And he pissed in it.
And someone
He did.
peed in the jacuzzi.
It was fucking him.
me,
And,
Ed, Ryan Tedder.
I'll tell you why as well.
Maybe one other person. Ed has been convinced that I pissed in the jacuzzi.
It's not only wait, I'll tell you afterwards. It's not only
Just for
piss in the
everyone
jacuzzi.
around the world, I do piss in pools.
Exactly.
But I don't piss in jacuzzis. I would never piss in a body of water that small.
Okay.
Ed, I need to know, do you believe me or not?
So he's been going on about this for a while. So I think, so it might be Tedder. It might be. But the thing is, Benny said to me, as he arrived at my house, I'm going to pee in your pool. And I was like, you're not going in my fucking pool, Benny. If you're going to pee in my pool, he's like, I'm going to pee in your pool. So I just never let him in the pool. We went to a festival, Latitude Festival. We came back to my house and we're sitting in the jacuzzi. And then like a couple of weeks later, I go to use it. It fucking stinks. And I get someone to check it out, the jacuzzi people come and check it out. And they said it had so much urine in it that it had overflown the system that like cleans the urine. So it is either Benny or Tedder. But only one person told me that they would pee in my pool. And it was this cunt. We were in there for hours, soaking in someone's urine. This is a really pleasant morning.
So far.
So far. That one's the best one so far.
We'll
like
take
that
that. We'll take
Do you
that.
get commission on that?
Yeah, I got a little rub share on it. All right, Ed, we actually have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram, where we do a deep dive on our guest's Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context. So
Cool.
we'll pull up the picture over here on the monitor. You just tell us the bigger story. Where does doing a song with 50 Cent and Eminem, your song Remember the Name, where does that fall on your list of career accomplishments?
I think probably top 3, because when I was in school, I mean, look at me. If you were to like, I looked like that in school, but younger, smaller, skinnier, and geekier. And if you were to go into my school and go at the height of Shady Records and at height of Aftermath and go, which one of these kids is going to do a song with Eminem and 50 Cent? No one would have guessed me. And like, I'd done a song with for his album, and then I was like, I'm putting together a collaborations project. I sort of said to him, could you do it? I'd love to get 50 on it. And he was like, yeah, no problem, I'll get 50 on it. And I remember walking into this dressing room, 50 will probably disagree with this, but I remember walking into the Wembley dressing room to meet, and we were being presented the plaque. And I don't think 50 had a fucking clue who I was. He was, I think afterwards he was like, oh, the Shape of You guy. But like, I was kind of like, hey, and you could see in his eyes, he was like, I'm not, and at this point we'd actually done the song together. But, but yeah, he'll probably disagree with that though. Mild. Oh well.
This one does kind of
Creep.
Yep.
I know this one's fucked up. I know that one's fucked up.
You've had that one before.
I've got that in my cupboard, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have a whole cupboard. My wife's made me actually move them all because they were in the normal cupboard. And I kept buying hot sauces, so she's made me have my own cupboard for the hot sauces that I fill them up in.
And now you have some more to add to it.
So these all mine?
You get to take them.
Fuck yeah, thank you. Can I get a couple of the last dabs? I promised my driver Gio I'd give him one.
Yeah, we'll hook it up. Hook it up. So there are these amazing stories about your dedication, from acquiring James Blunt's diary so that you could set a benchmark for how hard you need to work,
does
to
creep,
doing
man.
over 300, it does.
That's creep.
To doing over 300 gigs in 2009 alone. Is doing stage shows still the best way for a singer-songwriter to build experience and get discovered, or is that path to success more or less given way to the internet?
Yeah, I think in music everything's a muscle that you have to keep exercised, whether it's songwriting, whether it's singing. I've never really done vocal warm-ups, and since getting back to work now, I'm starting to lose my voice again, and I'm kind of like, do I do vocal warm-ups? Why didn't I do them before? And I think it's because I sung every day. Whether it's stage or whether it's songwriting or singing or performing in general, you just have to do it all the time. I've noticed you've not touched your water or your milk.
You know, it's not as any sort of like a show-off thing. It's just I've been so captivated.
Do you
that I'm
actually get the
distracted.
same wings that I get?
Yeah, I'd
You
be
don't just
happy.
get all mild.
No. You can see you can see the coloration and differences. Go ahead.
Just making sure.
I'm open to it. All right, are you ready to move on here to the next wing? This is Love Burns here in the 7th spot.
I feel like saying that was Miles, like it heard that and came back to bite me.
It's gonna get weird here.
Okay. It's like a dry heat. I think this one's gonna be a creeper in it.
And it builds, yeah. From all fronts.
Righto. Florida. That's how you know. That's how you know they don't play.
So I once saw you post a retro Martin guitar from 1907. Of all the instruments in your collection, which is the oldest and what's its backstory?
Probably that. I'd say the coolest one was so actually the guy that told me to do this show, I'll explain the story. My hero is Eric Clapton. He's the reason I started playing guitar. And I saw him on TV when I was 11. I picked up a guitar, I learnt Layla, and it kind of went from there. I got to know him in like 2015, and we've been friends since. And I went to his house. We had like noodles or something. And then afterwards, he just took his guitar off the wall and just gave it to me, signed the back and said, "Keep my guitar." And I was like, fuck, cool. Kept it in my studio at home. It was the only guitar in my studio at home. I was on tour. The person that lives in my house rang me up and was like, "Your fucking music studio's on fire. It's burning to the ground. We've got the fire brigade here." I was like, fuck. The guitar's in that studio. Anyway, the guitar comes out. It's ruined. It's black. It's like burnt to a crisp. And the guy that I was working with, who I've done the record with, Joe. Hi, Joe. I know you're fucking watching. He says, "Give me the guitar. Let me see what I can do with it." And so he took it, and about a year later, he brought it back, and it'd been totally restored.
Whoa.
And it smells like a burnt house. It's like got this really, really burnt wood smell, but it plays amazing, looks amazing, actually smells amazing, and still has Eric's signature on the back. So that's like my favorite guitar.
Told you, same wings.
Yeah, they're fucked up, man.
And this one, as you know,
It's fucked up. Christ on a bike. That's just the beginning as well.
right. Just growing from here.
Yep.
But don't worry, this one has.
Where does your day go from here?
Me? I've actually come to kind of look forward to and enjoy the post-Hot Ones experience because it's a time that I can tell everybody to kind of leave me alone. You know, no phone calls, no emails, crank the air conditioning in my apartment, have a little ice cream and chill.
Fucking hell, man.
So speaking of crazy eating, I know that you've switched up your diet habits quite a bit since the early Carefree tour days, but I love hearing these stories about you taking like butter masala and mixing them with vindaloo sauce, or ordering 3 different kinds of puddings and turning them into one uber dessert. Is there an off-menu Ed Sheeran Frankenstein restaurant request that you're most proud of?
Fucking hell. I think my local kebab shop do like, I'm like, oh my God, can we just eat the rest of this? Can I just eat these and be done? Fuck. Oh. Man, that's bad.
That's bad. I know that you went to that Michelin-starred sushi joint, Jiro, in Tokyo. Was that the religious restaurant experience that everybody says that it is?
No, it was good. But there's a sushi place in London called Iraqi, which is kind of the same thing. It's like, I think eight seats on omakase, a bloke just handing it to you. And that, I preferred that experience more than Jiro, I think.
Yeah, Jiro is like the 10 seats, 18 minutes, no talking thing.
Yeah. And they charge you $1,000 at the end of it.
All right, Ed, are you ready to move on? More almond milk there behind the table.
I feel like a failure, man. I feel like a failure.
Do you want to slow it down a little bit?
No, I want to speed it up.
At this point, I think you see the finish line you're going for. Has anyone done it with a straight face?
There have been some times where people seem totally unaffected. After the bomb, I think it's like a little bit easier.
The bomb is I think Joe actually gave me that one.
The bomb?
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe.
Shout out to Joe. He watches every single one. Actually, he was like gung-ho for having Gordon Ramsay on here. And I remember the day you had Gordon on, he was like, I think we were in the studio and he stopped it and was like, we're watching this. Oh, not as bad as the bomb. Still fucked up.
So you have a knack for surprising fans, whether it's taking Taylor Swift to your local pub and Framlingham, or hopping on stage in a random mall for a fan that's singing Thinking Out Loud on stage. Do you have an all-time favorite sort of Ed in the Wild experience?
It's an interesting question. Actually, my village I live in, there's like 400 people. And they don't really have like, I'm kind of like the only guy that lives there that people would know or like seen on TV. And like when I bring people down, it's quite random. I remember I had Courteney Cox to come and stay. And she thought that Tesco, which is just a supermarket like Walmart or whatever, was like a farmer's market. And someone had said, we're going to Tesco. And she was like, I'll go to Tesco. I love farmer's markets. I'll go. And so it's like the supermarket with just local people who like went to my high school or whatever, and they suddenly see Monica from Friends like looking at Dolmio pasta sauce or whatever. And I quite like stuff like that. It's so far from London that it's not normal that you would see people. It's like totally out of the ordinary.
All right, Ed.
I feel like there's like some questions I don't even remember answering in that.
This is the last dab. We call it the last dab because it's tradition around here to put a little extra
fucking hell.
on the last one. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Mate, I'm not. I have a Northern Irish friend that says if you're going to get done for nicking a horse, you might as well fuck it. Don't try that at home, kids.
You might take the tagline.
Is that enough?
That's enough. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
Right. Cheers, sir.
Cheers, Ed.
I have to say, man, I'm not saying this because it's your show, but those were the two tastiest ones, by far.
You enjoyed the last dab,
Yeah, I did.
even after going through.
That is the worst, by far. By far.
I'm right with you on that.
I was good. No. These two, all right. That one, no.
Well, thankfully, Ed, we're at the conclusion of our spicy chicken wing adventure, and we're hoping that we can close things out with a bang. Back in 2012, you told Complex, I'm not the world's best or worst beatboxer. What is the first beat that materializes within you when you think about conquering the wings of death today?
That's the beat.
An Ed Sheeran exclusive, taking on the Hot Ones gauntlet and living to tell the tale, crushing the almond milk and slaying the wings. Now, Ed Sheeran, there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you. This camera, this camera, this camera, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Not a lot. Not a lot. Bad Habits, new single, out now. Tour next year, album in the autumn. Check them out. Thank you. Oh, fucking hell. It's an amazing concept of a show. Dude, I've like, doing promo, it's kind of, you get into the rhythm of just doing interviews and doing questions, and like every now and then someone will throw something in that's actually genuinely fun. That's the beat.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Sean Evans, and would you take a look at how we've set the table? Take a look at this. This is the Hot Ones Oxford Pennant collab, a classic American company, Buffalo, New York, in fact. Shout out to Bill. These right here, they're perfect for the dorm room. They're perfect for the Hot Ones party that you're throwing at your place. Perfect for the sports cave. To get yours, visit shop.firstwefeast.com. That's shop.firstwefeast.com to get your hands on the Hot Ones Oxford Pennant. Careful around the eyes.